Oh, hello there, Alex. What website am I on? I'm on Toyota's press release website. Just Google Toyota newsroom, and when you get there, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see the page that talks about the announcement, or maybe not announcement, but the kind of teaser. Letting people know that Toyota is going to show off their next GR car tonight. So yeah, just Google Toyota newsroom. You should be able to find it. Hi Hunter, how are you? Are you into cars? Just give me a second. I am currently going through and doing some last minute posts. I'll get started in a second. I like cars, not that much into them though. I hope the markup isn't too crazy once it comes out, which I am a little worried about, given that I wouldn't be surprised if the next GR car is going to be limited production. I just hope I'm kind of hoping it doesn't creep into, like, in terms of pricing, like the $40,000 range. Yeah. So I'm almost ready to go. That should about do it. Okay. It's tough posting TikToks from an iPad. Sorry, Bobby, I have to go eat dinner. I will see you later. I'll be streaming. I'll be on for probably the next hour, so I hope to see you again, Hunter. Alrighty, so hello everybody. In case you don't know me, my name is Bobby Yagake. Um, I usually do streams. You might know me. I recognize some of you guys from my other YouTube channel, Blood Moon Bobby, where I talk about animation and video games. And on that channel, I started talking a bit about another interest I have, which is cars. I've been into cars ever since I was a little kid. This is just I used to have a lot more like smaller kind of Hot Wheel style cars, but this is what remains. Whoops, there goes my microphone of my toy car collection here. I got a Subaru STI, VW Beetle, Chrysler PT Cruiser here, and the thing is, recently, my current job, I work as a SEO specialist for a marketing company in Southern California that mainly helps out car dealerships. And I really wanted to give a chance, since I'm now working on car dealership websites. I really wanted to do more content that's related to the car industry on my, like, sort of career YouTube channel, and this is where it is. Yeah, so this channel I'm gonna dedicate to covering especially JDM cars, maybe KDM in the future as I start to get more familiar with them. So what I'm using this channel for, it's more so like, even I would say, don't expect me to post too much. This is just a place for me to have even more fun with talking about cars that I find really interesting. Tonight I'm going to be talking about Toyota's next GR or Gazoo racing car. I'm almost positive it's going to be the GR Corolla, especially after I heard that the car got leaked, but we'll find out for sure what Toyota has up their sleeve tonight. So I'm mainly going to use this channel to occasionally cover, especially JDM cars, because those are the ones that interest me the most, and I spent much of my life in, like, being driven around in Toyotas and Hondas, and in fact, I don't remember which Toyota it was. In fact, the car I learned to drive on was either a Toyota Echo or Corolla. I'm tempted to say Corolla, not just because like tonight it's probably going to be the GR Corolla, but I'm pretty sure it was a Corolla. So you could expect me to talk about JDM cars on this specific channel once in a while. So if you'd like to hear about my thoughts on JDM cars, upcoming cars from Japan or Japanese car companies, please subscribe to the Bobby Agake channel. I will say straight up, I don't consider myself a car enthusiast by any like stretch of the word. I don't get a chance to drive many cars at all. Like 99% of the time, the only cars I get to drive are the cars that my folks have, like whether it's my parents' Honda CRV or their Chrysler PT Cruiser. So I consider myself more a car admirer than an enthusiast just because I don't, get the chance. I know people personally that like get to drive around Toyota 86s and Subaru BRZs. I don't have those kind of opportunities. I can't see myself getting in a GR Corolla anytime soon. Like there's no way I could just call up my local Toyota dealership and be like, "Hey, you don't know me, but would you trust me with driving your new GR sports car?" It's like that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So consider me more a JDM car admirer. I'd like to someday talk about like KDM cars, like Hyundai, Kia, Genesis cars, because I really like the designs of them, and I've been learning a lot about how they are becoming more fun to drive. But I want to start to get comfortable with like the cars that like the kinds of cars I grew up in. So tonight I'm going to be talking about Toyota's latest GR sports car. The next video I'm gonna do, or at least the next stream, I'd like to do one on the Honda HR-V, because Honda has announced that they are coming out with a new HR-V. So that'll probably be on April 4th. So yeah, you could expect to tune in to see JDM contents time to time. Spaceboy GM, hello. So if you're coming in from my Blood Moon Bobby social media accounts, don't be afraid to, say hi and let me know. I'm really glad that when I announced that I was going to start doing car content, a lot of my followers on my Blood Moon Bobby accounts have been very supportive of me. I like talking to them about their thoughts on cars. Some of my commenters today were asking me about my thoughts on like the Nissan Z and the next Honda Civic Type R. I constantly watch that video that Honda put out where they're driving the new Civic Type R all camouflaged around the Suzuka circuit. I'm sure it's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to what the final design of the new Civic Type R is going to be like. I imagine it's probably going to... I'm trying to think of it as probably a sort of more kind of wild version of like the Civic Si, just not quite as crazy as like the current Civic Type R, because I know the current Type R has like well, I shouldn't say current, the previous generation, because Honda no longer sells the previous generation Civic Type R. But that could be something I could, I could cover in the future. The Civic, if I could buy any car I wanted today, reasonably, like, within, like, my budget, it would probably be a Civic hatchback. And something I'd like to tell you something, talk about myself is like, I consider myself somebody who's kind of like easily impressed with new cars. I'm not the kind of person that like has to have the most horsepower. I just like cars that look really fun to drive. That was why, I was really supportive when Acura announced the new Integra, for instance. I was really looking forward to that car. And I'm really curious to see what Toyota has going on tonight. Before the event begins, I kind of want to quickly go over what Toyota has been teasing. I really like how secretive they've been about teasing their upcoming GR hot hatch car, and I really think they're doing a good job playing up to the expectations of their fans and customers. If you plan on buying this car, only buy from a dealer that does no markup. Yeah, I hope not. I'm kind of expecting at best that the GR Corolla is probably going to be is something like probably going to be like charging its sticker at best. I mean, yeah, I just hope it won't be too expensive. Like I said, I hope it doesn't creep into like the $40,000 mark. But anyway, so up until now, the main hints that Toyota has been giving about their next car, they've been doing it for things like if you go to their main website, they put up this page showing the GR Yaris. Now in North America, we're not getting the GR Yaris because the Yaris is no longer sold here, and also I don't think Toyota, I think they're concerned that they're not going to, find much of a market for a three-door hatchback. But if you go down the page, you'll see they talk about the GR Yaris, and then they're teasing something else. So I'll zoom in a bit here so you can see it better. It says here, quote, GR Yaris dominated the 2020 Tokyo Auto Salon, stirring up an outcry in North America over its absence. And it's easy to see why. A radical hot hatch, GR Yaris is equipped with an all-new 268 horsepower turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, a rally-derived GR4 all-wheel drive system, and a track-proven suspension. It's the same engineering that helped to make Toyota Gazoo Racing a dominant force in the World Rally Championship, WRC. While GR Yaris isn't coming to the US, perhaps it's time the US got a Toyota hot hatch to call its own, one that continues to push the boundaries of performance, and one that can only come from Toyota Gazoo Racing. Are you with us?
Bobby, here is your reminder.
Oh, sorry, that was my Amazon Echo Dot, speaking. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom back. So, and of course, I've seen, all the social media teasers. I remember there was one Instagram video where Toyota was showing off I think it was their current GR cars. If I remember correctly, they showed both the 86 and the Supra, and then for a very brief second, you see this hatchback go by in camouflage. So, yeah, there was that, and then I also remember there was another Instagram image where it looked like the interior looked like. Oh, I hear music playing, so maybe it's a good time to go on over and see what Toyota is looking up. Okay, so here, yeah, so they're showing the live stream here. It's going to start in about 14 minutes. There are many MSRP only dealers and several extended orders, but it is more likely that it will be 2024 when that will happen. When you say when that will happen, do you mean when they'll actually sell the upcoming GR car, or when it's okay, so 14 minutes here, so
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the road, think that we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas. I do not care if I crash, as long as I stick to the plan. What is the plan? I cannot lie for none of you, long as I know who I am. I'm in control. God got his hand on my soul, and if I land it, he got the remote. Made it as far as a miracle. Anything less is cynical. Thinking true, I can't lie in your interview. Tell the truth while you lie with your interview, and you're acting so critical. In control, nothing more than minimum.
I wish I got to drive cars as often as they do, but I only get to drive the cars that my parents have. And I said earlier, if I could have any car, that fits, I don't know about my budget, but an affordable car, it would be something like a Civic hatchback. I honestly wouldn't mind something like a Toyota Corolla hatchback someday, and hey, it would come full circle. The car I grew up in was my mom's Toyota Camry station wagon. I think it was a 1993 model, so if my daily driver was something because there's no way I could afford a GR hot hatch. I'm mainly watching this as somebody that's really interested in the car industry. I'm an observer, so what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna try my best to stick to telling you about the specs of this car, whatever Toyota decides to give out in terms of specs. Pricing maybe, but I don't know if they're gonna announce pricing. But I could see them talking about some of the specs of what their next GR car will have and stuff like that. So another 12 minutes. I'm also kind of wondering if this is this going to be just they show brief video of their next car, or I'm just wondering, is this going to be like a Nissan Z event where they actually have like people coming out and talking about the car, or is it going to be something closer to like the North American Lexus LX 600 event where they just showed like this very brief video of the car and the rest of the information came through press releases? I remember for the LX, I think in Saudi Arabia, they had like an even like bigger video event where, they had actual people talking and that kind of stuff. So I'm really curious to see what they're going to do here tonight with their next GR car. And I really do think that it is going to be the GR Corolla, mostly because, not just because, like, it got leaked and everybody's been talking about the GR Corolla, but I think even just through, like, a process of elimination, it would make sense because the Yaris isn't sold here, so it's not going to be a GR Yaris, so the only other logical choice in Toyota's lineup in terms of getting the GR badge would be something like the Toyota GR Corolla. Basically, it would be 5-door hatchback, and basically just have the basically make some adjustments to like the design of the current Corolla hatchback so that it's much more performance driven, if you will, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so 10 more minutes here before Toyota shows us what's going on here. I'd like to add, this is like the first time I've ever done like a live reaction to really anything. Even on my my other YouTube channel, Blood Moon Bobby, I don't usually do this kind of stuff because I get worried about copyright issues, especially since I cover events like Comic-Con events and Nintendo Directs. I get worried that the organizers of both would put strikes on my channel. But it seems like when it comes to the car makers, they tend to be more lax when it comes to this kind of commentary. So yeah, so I guess we'll find out in about 9 minutes, what Toyota is going to show us. I know, like, one of the big differences between this production version and the one in all the renders is that the GR badge is actually, they put it right next to the side vent instead of putting it right in there. So that was one of the big differences. So I'm just kind of curious to see if this is going to differ from, I imagine it seems like it is going to differ, a bit from the renders. And now I'm just wondering, because before the stream started up, I watched David Chow's video on the GR Corolla leak, Automotive Press International. Again, one of my favorite YouTube channels. He's a very experienced car engineer who used to work for Toyota, and he was pointing out, like, the differences in terms of, like, the vents and that kind of stuff. So I'm really curious to see, how it's all going to differ. So again, 8 minutes again. So this will be a good time if you have any questions about, like, my thoughts on cars coming out and that kind of stuff, or what are my favorite car brands and that kind of stuff. Please let me know. Yeah, but I know I'm very aware that I have a lot to learn in terms of, like, cars. I mean, I grew up being very interested, flipping through, like, all the car advertisements and seeing what's up, what the latest Toyotas, Hondas. And I even grew up at a time when there were a lot of car brands around back then that weren't around today. Like, I still remember a lot of the older GM brands like Oldsmobile and Saturn, if that makes any sense. So less than 8 minutes away. So again, when the event finishes up, what I'm gonna do is I'll go through whatever specs they show off, and you all can tell me, what do you think of, what do you think of these specs? It's highly speculated that the GR Corolla is gonna share the same, if not similar, engine as the GR Yaris, which is a 1.6 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder. Funny enough, when I first heard that the GR Yaris uses a turbocharged 3-cylinder, I was kind of like, 3-cylinder? Really? But then I saw Doug DeMuro. He drove a GR Yaris that he got, that he was driving from. I think it was a viewer from Mexico, and he was like, it was like to him, it was so impressive. It was like driving a 6-cylinder. So, yeah, this is gonna be the real deal, and I imagine that this GR Hot Hatch is gonna be a competitor to something like the Honda Civic Type R, which I imagine is gonna be a front-wheel drive vehicle. Maybe not so much the Subaru WRX STI, because Subaru announced that they're not going to do a gas powered WRX STI. Yeah, that was probably one of the most shocking announcements I've seen in the automotive business lately. About 6 minutes to go. Again, feel free to ask any questions. I'm really open to them. I know, WQ. How are you doing? Are you excited for Toyota's event tonight? Yeah, I saw earlier. Sophion from Redline Reviews posted that he actually got to go out to Long Beach, which is where I live. This is USA only. Yeah, it seems like the GR Corolla, it's mainly being like sold in the US because a lot of other parts of the world get the GR Yaris, although I guess it still remains to be seen if the GR Corolla will make it to other parts of the world. So that's what I'm really I'm really curious to see. But yeah, but in any case, less than 5 minutes to go. Yeah, it mainly seems like one of the big concerns about the GR Corolla is the dealer markups. And from my experience, it seems like the main kinds of cars that get markups are either really expensive, like vehicles like the Lexus LX, their off-road SUV, the one that's based on the Land Cruiser, or performance cars. Like, people have been talking about how the markups on the Honda Civic Type R are terrible. What are the markups on the Civic Si like? I didn't know that Toyota was releasing a newer version of the Corolla. Yeah, it seems like this is going to be one that's much more performance driven, with a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. Basically, I guess you could say it's going to be a cousin to the GR Yaris that they sell overseas. I think, me personally, though, I'd have to stick with the regular Corolla hatchback. I've watched like countless videos on the Corolla hatchback, and minus the legroom, yeah. The reason is GR already has 3 products in other countries, and GR has a 3-product plan. I see. Yeah, so it's kind of like after this car gets announced, it'll be like the modern version of the Toyota triplets. Like, back in the day, there was what was it? The Supra, Celica, and MR2. And now for this generation, at least in the States, it's going to be the triplets this time are going to be the GR Hot Hatch, the 86, and the Supra. I remember hearing rumors that they might bring back the MR2 and work with Porsche on it, but I'm not really sure about that. It would be nice to see, though. I would like to see Toyota do another like mid-engine car someday. Heck, I'd like to be driven in one for once. or drive one. Daniel, I can't wait. Yeah, only 2 minutes to go. So, yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Let's see if I could expand this a little, because it looks like it's missing the top there. Okay. What about the bottom? Nope. Alright, so, just over a minute away until we find out, what, this, new GR Hot Hatch, what this new car Toyota has coming out for North America. Oh wow, they have like a whole head. Yep, audience. I wonder if I could recognize the car YouTubers I watch. I guess we'll find out. I probably should have figured that if if YouTubers get to go to some event, then odds are Toyota isn't just gonna release a video. They're bringing out the whole shebang for this because they're hyping this car so much. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rutledge Wood. Ow! Welcome, everybody. And I am so excited to be a part of tonight's show. You know, as a gearhead, there is no place better to be than at a world premiere of a new Toyota Gazoo racing sports car and the Formula Drift season kickoff. Now, just like me, our friends at Toyota are car fans too, and from what I've learned, they're on a mission to show the world just how serious they are about these GR sports cars. They're out there creating new legends in Toyota's design studios, garages, and factories across the world. Heck, even Akio Toyoda himself gets in on things when it comes to earning a GR badge. So, let's hear more about that from our friends at Toyota. First up, we have Vice President of Marketing and Communications from Toyota Motor North America, Mike Tripp. He gets the fun job of showing off this hot new ride. And we have the Chief Engineer of this new GR sports car too, Naoyuki Sakamoto. He's going to answer a few questions about his baby. So, let's get into it. Mike, come on up here and serve these folks what they came here for.
Hey, thanks Rutledge, and thanks to all of you for joining us right here in Long Beach and around the world via live stream. As Rutledge said, we're here this evening to introduce a new member of our Toyota Gazoo racing family and to celebrate car culture at the Formula D season opener. You see, we believe drift racing truly captures the spirit of GR sports cars, pushing the limits of performance and handling. At Toyota, GR isn't just a badge. It's a mindset, an ethos that's all about achieving the highest levels of performance.
So just Google Toyota.
It's a way of thinking that goes back over
That's how you
6
can watch
decades
it.
when Toyota first entered motorsports. Even then, we viewed racing as a laboratory for advancing the quality, technology, and performance of our production vehicles. And Toyota Gazoo Racing applies that very same approach to vehicle development today. The GR chapter of our sports car saga began in 2007 when our global CEO, Akio Toyoda, shared a vision that went beyond the track. He wanted to build on Toyota's motorsports legacy and ignite a passion for driving across our company. So he started GR as a rogue operation. In fact, they didn't even use Toyota in the team name. And Akio himself raced under the alias of Marizo.
Morizo, yeah.
He assembled a group of Toyota employees,
About,
race team members,
Akio
professional
Toyoda.
and amateur drivers, and they went to work developing race cars. They tested them at tracks
Couldn't
like the
hear that.
world-famous
Can you
Nürburgring
type
in
out
Germany
and watch it?
and Fuji Speedway in Japan.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
And as the team raced, they pushed cars to the limits and overcame setbacks, making engineering breakthroughs that led to better performance.
yeah.
In the early days of GR, their work influenced a car that now enjoys legendary status, the Lexus LFA.
It's LFA.
And their approach was also used to develop the first generation Scion FRS. Now their activities became official in 2015 when the Toyota Gazoo Racing Company was formed. And since then, the GR team's been hard at work, applying their learning to production vehicles. 3 years ago, we introduced the first GR badge sports car here in North America, the GR Supra.
Supra.
It was the return of a legend with raw power and eye-catching style. And just last year, we brought out the second generation
Yeah, we're done
86,
with BMW.
which also earned its GR badge. With
audio.
dynamic handling,
Thank you very
complemented
much.
by a
Just having
boost
a good
in
time.
power and torque, it's generating a lot of buzz in the marketplace. You see, we believe this recipe of leveraging 6 decades of motorsports, including success in the World Endurance and World Rally Championships, combined with Marizo's passionate involvement throughout, has a lot of merit. Which is why we're excited to be expanding the GR lineup once again this evening with the world premiere of the latest GR sports car, one that drives with untamed energy and can only come from Toyota Gazoo Racing. Check this out.
Let's see. Reordered the GR Corolla. Yes, GR Corolla. Yep. 86 Supra and now GR Corolla.
Now that's how you make an entrance. And how about it, huh? And honestly, I don't know if I'm more excited about this car or more relieved that we can finally stop sharing all those teaser images. How about this GR Corolla? We finally have a hot hatch right here in the United States. And don't worry,
Yes.
it's coming to other parts of the world as well. Born from rally, its Toyota roots run deep
here first.
with the
It's coming to
power,
other parts of the
agility,
world too.
comfort, and quality both enthusiasts an everyday driver's desire. We even spent an extra year working on it, testing it and tweaking it until we got the performance just right. It's powered by the turbocharged G16E 3-cylinder. Yes, I said 3-cylinder, 1.6 liter engine, and it delivers an incredible 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Now listen, I'm no math major, and I'm certainly not an engineer, but Sakamoto-san, 100 horses per cylinder is impressive. The drivetrain is the famed GR4 all-wheel drive system that was developed for the GR Yaris and is also used in the WRC model. Designed for maximum control, the GR4 system features all-wheel drive with selectable front-to-rear power distribution settings for a variety of driving and weather conditions. Now let's talk about transmissions. There's only one, and it's not an automatic. This baby only comes with a 6-speed manual. So you can
6-speed, stick shift.
So you can throw your own to your heart's desire. It's built on a highly rigid, reinforced unibody that's specifically made for GR Corolla. The broad hatch profile is accentuated by wide fenders for an attack-ready stance, and aerodynamically, the rear lip spoiler and functional vents improve handling. Its sport-tuned suspension rides on 18-inch wheels, paired with impressive 14-inch slotted rotors with 4-piston calipers in the front, and in the rear, 11-inch rotors with 2 pistons. It'll be available in white, black, and supersonic red. Now on the inside, a race-inspired 12.3-inch digital display has a high visibility gauge cluster. Seating for 5 with GR logoed sport fabric seats, and since it's a hatch, there's plenty of cabin room, with rear seats that fold down, creating just enough space for a full set of track tires. On the infotainment front, it'll come equipped with our all-new Toyota multimedia system with an 8-inch touchscreen. A premium JBL audio package is also available. And for safety, it comes with our latest TSS 3.0 system with improved vehicle detection capabilities. Oh yeah, we got one more fun thing to show you. As you can see, GR Corolla will launch with 2 grades. An over-the-top, everything but the kitchen sink core model, and this extra spicy limited circuit edition that will only be available for the 23 model year. The circuit edition features a forged carbon fiber roof, rear spoiler, and vented aluminum hood. The GR4 system with dual LSD is standard, along with opposed front and rear mounted red painted GR logo brake calipers that you can see right there. By the way, those calipers and the dual LSD are also available as part of a performance package on the core model. You'll be able to get that bad boy in white, supersonic red, and a circuit edition exclusive heavy metal. Inside, you'll find suede sport seats with red accents and a special Marizo sign shift knob. Both grades of the GR Corolla are built at the GR factory at Toyota's Motomachi plant. And our team members at this plant are among the most experienced and highly skilled craftsmen in the industry, with a reputation for quality and a precision that's second to none.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really amazing
When you combine precision manufacturing with rigorous track testing, we end up with 2 GR Corollas made for exceptional handling, adrenaline pumping power, and everyday functionality with the Toyota quality that you've come to expect. Now, MSRP for both grades will be announced soon, I promise. With the core grade going on sale later this year and the circuit edition
guess
on
we're not
sale
getting pricing
in 2023.
I just hope that
So
it's
enthusiasts
not
and drivers
long
everywhere
and be-
can heat up the streets with this hot new hatch. Now, everything we talk about at GR leads us back to the track, and that even applies to our customers. And here in the United States, we want all of our customers to experience the thrill of performance driving. So all GR models, including the GR Corolla, come with a complimentary one-year membership to the National Autosport Association, giving our owners access to a high-performance driving event where they can sharpen their skills with experts on the track. And in fact, 75% of GR owners that join these events so far are hitting the track for the very first time, introducing them to a whole new world of performance driving, compliments of Gazoo racing. And since we're talking track, imagine if we brought our GR products to a single make race series. Well, that's going to be a reality really soon. And I'm excited to share that we'll be launching the GR Cup featuring GR86 next year. So stay tuned for more details this summer. With the arrival of the GR Corolla, plus the powered up 86 and the iconic Supra, it's safe to say that Toyota Gazoo Racing has officially arrived to the shores of North America. And now we have a bold new chapter in Toyota's sports car saga. Developed by enthusiasts, for enthusiasts, and born on the track, not in the boardroom. Thank you for joining us here and online. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to my good friend, Rutledge. Rut, take it away.
Circuit edition. Yeah,
Oh man,
really cool.
300 horsepower, turbocharged, manual gearbox, all-wheel drive in hot hatch styling. I mean, this car checks a lot of boxes, Mike, and I know we just met, but my birthday's coming up, and I'm just saying, if you're still stuck on what to get me, I will take one of these over a new plaid shirt, but I do really like my plaid shirt. I mean, how awesome is this? So many of the people here tonight and people watching, this is the thing we dream of right here.
I still can't
Now,
get
there's a lot to be
over
said
how
about
it
what you
gets
guys are up to at Toyota and the risk
It's the
Akio
GR
Toyota
Corolla.
is taking to back the development of cars like these. That earns you some serious props from me and anyone that thinks that driving is one of life's great joys. Pretty sweet, man, pretty sweet. All right, one thing for me that I love is to hear the stories about how cars came to be. So let's spend a couple minutes with the chief engineer, Mr. Naoki Sakamoto. Mr. Sakamoto, come on up. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for being here. I mean, first up, congratulations. The car looks great. Now, I'm wondering something. How did you get 300 horsepower out of that 3-cylinder turbo?
Well, Morizo and engineer's passion. Actually, we made many improvements to many parts. So, for example, one big improvement was reducing exhaust back pressure. So we put a triple exhaust system to reduce it. Then another one was reinforcing some engine parts, such as pistons. All those improvements resulted in an engine with more power.
That's it. So that triple exhaust system reducing back pressure. Some people might even say that there's a bypass that works that. Who knows? Well, we all love power, but what we really love is the feel of driving. What can we expect out of the GR Corolla?
Yeah, as you saw, outstanding controllability. So we achieved this with GR4 system and with suspension tuning, including a suspension geometry update from Corolla hatchback. So I'm pretty sure you can enjoy it on not only on the racetrack, but also slippery conditions such as dirt or snow.
So it was more than just adding power. It's making sure that the driving feel connects with the performance. It certainly seems like you guys have done that. Okay, one last thing. We keep hearing about how tough it is for one of these cars to get the GR stamp of approval. It's not just a badge. What's that process like?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Morizo's expectation is pretty high to make it even better car. So, you know, Toyota's philosophy is Kaizen, which is a continuous improvement. So test the car on the racetrack and improve it until it gets to GR performance levels, then Morizo approves it.
So it's not just months, sometimes it's years to make sure that all of those standards meet Akio Toyotas. That's amazing. Mr. Sakamoto, huge thanks to you and your team for bringing us this car. Again, no pressure, my birthday, it's coming up next month. All right, everybody, we are so psyched for this GR Corolla to hit the streets and even more happy that you could join us. A huge thanks goes out to our GR drivers who made this happen. Mr. Ken Gushi over here in the core model. Yeah. Over here, Ryan Turk is in the Circuit Edition. Big thanks to Jonathan Castro for the amazing driving in the videos you saw, even Frederick Osbo, our GR Super Drifter, and a big shout out to the Corolla Hatchback Club on Facebook. I'm a proud member. I know how excited all of you are about this car. I hope to see some of you cruising the streets in one of these bad boys when they go on sale later this year. Thanks again for joining us. Good night. Yeah, nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow a few moments for photography. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, that's the event. So basically, yeah, confirmed. I think pretty much what we were expecting, especially if you saw the leak. Now, just give me a second to get out of the stream. I'm really interested in seeing how it's gonna go when all the car reviewers get a chance to finally drive the GR Corolla. So I'll quickly let's see if Toyota put up a press release. So I guess something interesting I learned. I knew that like on the racetrack, Akio Toyoda, his name becomes Morizo. I just didn't know. It's kind of like, superhero secret identity, where it's like, when you talk about the process of like, how the GR cars get made, he's often referred to as Morizo. So, okay. And it's not loading. I don't know if it's because of my Wi-Fi or Toyota is still figuring stuff out. But yeah, as for the whole thing about the as for how it's only available for manual, I guess it kind of reminds me, this is a weird comparison to make, but it sort of reminds me about how I remember I heard when the new Acura Integra went on sale, the vast majority of customers picked the one with the manual, and which I kind of suspect that was what Acura was hoping, because for the Integra, it was either 6-speed stick or CVT, and you know how people feel about CVTs, especially in the enthusiast community. Yeah, I don't mean to take my step away from the microphone too much. I'm gonna try. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, the servers are. Yeah, I don't know if they're like Toyota is. They're working on stuff right now and they can't show it. Let's see what happens. If I go back to their Hot Hatch page on their main website, it just takes me back to the same page where they're like, hey, you want to join us? What I was trying to do, I was trying to pull up their newsroom page so that if I could see if they put out a more detailed press release, but I can't seem to pull it up right now. But yeah, it has a lot of the expectations. I think, people were looking forward to, the 1.6 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder GR4 all-wheel drive. Of course, one of the really big differences between the GR Yaris and the GR Corolla is that the Corolla is a 5-door vehicle, the Yaris is a 3-door. The two different trim levels, the Core and the Circuit Edition. Again, the Circuit Edition, Toyota said they're only going to sell that for the 2023 model year. So, oh boy, good luck if you're going to try to get the Circuit Edition. I imagine that one's going to be tough to pick up. Yeah, and 300 horsepower, so that is... Yeah, so that is, if I do the math correctly, that's 32 more than what's in the GR Yaris, which was a little surprising to me. I was a little, worried about the performance side because I suspect that the GR Corolla is going to be, a heavier car. Looks like a slightly bigger a slightly bigger car, especially because it has the 2 additional doors. But then again, as Toyota said, 300 horsepower, and I like that versatility of having the 5-door hatchback. Sanchez Built said, "I'm going to the dealership and ordering it tomorrow." I wish you a lot of good luck. I hope that you can get your hands on one. Hopefully, it's not going to be too difficult to get, but I suspect it's going to be a limited edition vehicle. But I really do hope that you can get your hands on one. It looks really amazing. I hope that if Doug DeMuro gets his hands on it, that he's gonna have just as much fun driving this as he had with the GR Yaris. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on as we wait for Toyota's newsroom site to load once more. Let me know what you think of the GR Corolla. It seems like looks like some of the comments are pretty excited for it. As I said earlier, when I first heard the GR Yaris had a turbo 3-cylinder, I was kind of skeptical, but I heard that the one they put in the GR Yaris is really impressive. So, I'm suspecting, I hope that that in the Corolla, it's just as fun to drive. And also the added horsepower is nice. But that's the really interesting thing. That's what I want to know if I ever get the chance to drive a turbocharged car, especially if it comes from a car, maybe not the GR Corolla, but I know one case that turbo engines are used, or it's kind of like one example I could think of is like the Lexus LX 600, where the LX used to be a V8 vehicle, and then they switched over to the twin turbo V6. So like a much different vehicle, I know. I'm just saying that, I'm really curious if I ever get the chance to experience the difference between, because I currently drive around in naturally aspirated vehicles, so I'm kind of curious to see what it would be like to go from a naturally aspirated vehicle to one that's not only turbocharged, but one that also has like a couple less cylinders than the vehicle that came before. Again, thinking of vehicles like the Lexus LX or even the LS. The LS is another vehicle that went from having a V8 to a turbo V6. But again, the case in the GR Corolla is it's turbocharged 3-cylinder. So I could probably guess that the YouTubers, did they mention price? I didn't get a chance to watch the debut. No, they didn't. They said they'll announce the MSRP at a later date. So unfortunately we're gonna have to wait. I hope that this GR Corolla, I'm hoping for somewhere in between like the mid to higher $30,000. I hope it doesn't go into like 40k. If it goes into 40k, I'm just like, oh god. But yeah. I think it would have been nice if they did announce like an automatic transmission. I mean, not that, I don't think I'm going to be able to drive a GR Corolla anytime in the near future, but it would be like, nice if that was at least an option. I kind of like when companies come out with sports cars when they offer both options. I don't like when they just offer one type of transmission. Kind of like how with the Supra, the current Supra, it's only available with an automatic, and I'm hoping for the enthusiasts that the current Supra, the GR Supra, will get a stick shift someday. I have a pre-order on one. That's awesome. Yeah, I hope for those who are able to pre-order it, I hope you have a lot of fun in this GR Corolla. It looks like a really amazing car. think I'll try once more to just type Toyota Newsroom on Google. If you're wondering how I watched this, I was well, actually, now that like we went through the press, what happens if I refresh the press release? Does it just it just takes me back to the press release. So let's see if I can go to their main website, because I want to see if they have a press release that has more information. And they did say that the GR Corolla, it will be sold in other parts of the world, but they didn't say where exactly. I'm pre-ordering one this weekend. Okay, yeah. So if I can't get to see if I can't get to see any other press releases, then I'm gonna end the stream at 7. But yeah, this has been fun. My first ever car live stream, where not just talking about it's not only my first live stream dedicated to cars, but it's also my first one where I actually did a live reaction to a press event. Again, on my main channel, Blood Moon Bobby, I don't usually do like live reactions because I always get worried about copyright issues. Debating if I should wait for the circuit pack or just get a regular version early. Yeah, that's tough because I imagine the circuit pack is going to be, especially because Toyota said they're only going to release it for the 2023 model year. I imagine that one is going to like fly. Is there a car-related version for saying fly off the shelves? I'm still waiting on the Type R, but the all-wheel drive is calling me on the Corolla. Yeah. And yeah, I know that since I expect the Type R, the next Type R, to be front-wheel drive as well. I know there's advantages, like, it adds less weight to the car. I also imagine being front-wheel drive that the fuel economy is better. But if I was given the choice, I'd also give all-wheel drive a chance, especially when it comes to rough weather. I like having that kind of added security. I don't live in I don't live in extreme weather conditions, but on rainy days, it would be nice. But that could be an event I might cover someday as well, when Honda eventually announces they've already announced the Civic Type R, but when they do the whole unveiling where they show what it looks like without the camouflage and so forth. It looks like it's going to be one amazing car. I keep watching that video they put out where they're racing the Civic Type R on the Suzuka circuit. Yeah, so I guess it's going to be really interesting when both the GR Corolla and the Civic Type R, because I feel like they're kind of natural competitors. It's like the Batman versus Superman, or the Coke versus Pepsi, or Canon versus Nikon of the car world. So I'm really curious because, because the GR Corolla is all-wheel drive and the Type R is more than likely going to be a front-wheel drive vehicle, just like the previous version. Alright, so I'll give it one more chance to see if there's any press releases that I could check out. Type R is going to be crazy, but front-wheel drive is not it. Avengers Civil War, LOL. Yeah, because I know, one of the concerns with front-wheel drive is the risk of torque steer, which I've heard with the previous, Type R, Honda, is usually able to, kind of mitigate the quirks of front-wheel drive for the most part. But as Doug DeMuro would probably say, when you have a vehicle that's straight-up all-wheel drive, those kind of concerns aren't even going to pop in your head. But I imagine they're going to be, fun to drive in in their respects when you know what you're getting into. Because I know there's people out there that, do not want the Civic Type R to be an all-wheel drive vehicle. So it doesn't look like... I like that comparison, Avengers Civil War, yeah. Thank God for it's a manual, but would be cool if there was a DCT option. Yeah, which I wasn't expecting a DCT because, as far as I know, in their current vehicles, at least, Toyota doesn't do dual clutches. I would be curious to see what would happen if Toyota put a dual clutch in their cars someday. I know Honda used to do that. Like, I think about like the previous Acura TLX used to be available with a dual clutch, and their outgoing ILX uses an 8-speed dual clutch. So I kind of wonder what would happen if Toyota put a dual clutch in their cars. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's the a press release I'm looking for. So I'll quickly go over this. I'm not gonna like read the whole thing because then I would just start sounding like an instruction manual. But I'll go over the highlights here. So what are the highlights? Quote here. So yeah, so 3-cylinder direct port injected turbo engine delivering 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, Honda should revive the S2000. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to do that. I imagine if they did, the S2000 would probably be... I could see them bringing it back as like maybe a competitor to something like the Mazda Miata. GR4 all-wheel drive system with customizable front-rear power settings. Again, comes in 2 grades, the Core and the launch year exclusive Circuit Edition. Again, approved by Akio Toyota, aka Morizo, and professional Toyota Gazoo racing drivers. Built at the Motomachi plant. Again, I've heard really amazing things about the Motomachi plant. If you want to learn more about the Motomachi plant, please check out the video Kirk Reifels did with David Chow, where he interviewed David and asked him, and they talked about David specifically talked a lot about the Motomachi plant and the Takumi engineers. I mean, if I was really good at engineering and math, I would love to become a Takumi engineer. Type R is going to be better equipped when it comes to technology and interior stuff, but Toyota might be more reliable. I imagine in terms of like the interior, the Civic Type R is going to be similar to like the Civic Si, like with the honeycomb grille and the 9-inch touchscreen. What I'm curious to see is for the Type R, is it going to use a 2-liter turbocharged engine? And is there is the gauge cluster, are they gonna do the thing where it's half screen, half speedometer, like physical speedometer, or is it gonna be full screen like on the higher trim Civics? And while we're talking about the Type R, I also hope that Honda takes the guts of the Type R to make a Type S Integra, especially because they're very aware of how famous the Integra Type R is. So I hope that they use the guts of their next Type R to make an Integra Type S. I think that's really gonna like knock the socks off of especially Honda and Acura fans. Yeah, just put the Type R engine and make a light... I'm getting my tongue twisted here. Just put the Type R engine and make a lightweight chassis. Ellie, you're talking about if Acura ever decides to make a Type S Integra, right? Okay, so let's just skim through the press release. Used driver is on the way. GR Corolla. Detail of processed Gazoo Racing. And Morizo, powerful G16E GTS turbocharged direct port injected 3-cylinder engine. GR Corolla delivers 300 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. This part might be interesting. Engineered for snappy acceleration out of the corners, output hits peak torque at 3,000 to 5,500 RPM, with max horsepower coming in at 6,500 RPM. Triple exhaust. I'll take a look at that in a second here, because I remember in the leaks there was a triple exhaust. It's not like the Civic Type R where the exhaust pipes are like bunched together in the middle, but we'll take a look just to be sure. G16 engine is paired with Toyota's GR4 all-wheel drive. Drivetrain, the system gives drivers a choice of 60-40, 50-50, or 30-70 power distribution to the front and rear wheels. Again, exclusively manual transmission. I was hoping that they would put a automatic of some sort, but manual transmission. So, to recap, when I think about the other GR cars that Toyota releases in the States, the 86 so that means the 86, that's the only one that's available with both an automatic and a stick, because currently the GR Supra is only available with an automatic, and now the GR Corolla is only available with a stick. Okay, anyway, moving on. Grades, corn circuit. So again, the core grade, I'm getting really tongue-tied tonight. The core grade will be available in white, black, and supersonic red. Comfort color, keyed roof, rear lip spoiler. Circuit edition will be available in 2023 in white, supersonic red, heavy metal, with the same GR4 stamped side rockers and wide fenders as the core. It adds a forged carbon fiber roof. Okay, yeah, that's the thing, because there was some debate over whether the GR Corolla was going to have a carbon fiber roof, but at least for the circuit edition, Toyota is saying carbon fiber roof. Vented bulge hood and a sporty rear spoiler. The Morizo signed shift knob. I really want to see that shift knob if it's signed by Akio Toyota, and it'll come equipped with the new Toyota multimedia system, which I imagine is going to be a lot like the one that's in the Tundra and the Sequoia, but with a smaller screen. I believe Toyota said 8-inch screen. So, okay, so just a recap if you missed out. So again, all these amazing pictures. If you want to see the, I have to download them to see the pictures. Yeah. Red looks really nice, by the way. I mean, if I could afford it, I would probably take the core edition in red. Alright, so is that the one press released? Yeah, I imagine, I don't know if it's because Toyota's updating stuff, or it might even just be from, the amount of traffic they're getting from all those people, that are, really hyped for the GR Yaris. I mean, GR Corolla, excuse me, the GR Yaris is not coming to the States. Do you think the circuit pack will have different LSDs just like the GR Yaris is? I'm not really sure. Okay, so I think I'm going to end things off here, because I think that's about as much as we're going to get to see for tonight. So yeah, so that has been my Toyota GR Corolla stream. I got it right that time. And this has been my first ever car-related live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, don't expect me to post videos regularly about on this channel, but I will from time to time. I would like to take a look at a lot of the cars that I'm very interested in checking out. So maybe my next stream will be on the Honda HR-V, because Honda announced that they're going to share more details about their next HR-V on April 4th. So I think I'll be back to talk about the upcoming Honda HR-V. I really hope you enjoyed the stream. Like I said, I've been interested in cars ever since I was a little kid, and my current day job, I work as a SEO specialist for a marketing company that works on a lot of car dealership websites. So I really wanted to come on here to talk about JDM cars, especially from car companies I'm really interested in, like Toyota and Honda. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you want me to do more of these car-related videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this stream a like. I really enjoyed how supportive you all have been tonight. I'm really excited to learn more about the GR Corolla as well. So until next time, this has been Bobby, and thank you all for watching.